Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Experience with me, your host, Jay. We're so happy to have you back here. We're on a horse. And if you look at the top left corner of the screen, 13.6 blocks per second. We've also got some new motion going on. We've got a gardener in the front lawn of the town hall that we've got over here. I know this was like a watermill, but it's kind of become like a town hall. We've also got a worker that's working over here, bringing some boxes to and from the crate for people to come pick up. And we've got a nice fountain. We've got some nice manicured grass, as well as this nice roof here. I don't know how I feel about these trapdoors, so feel free to send your opinion in there in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about it. But yeah, we've done a little bit of work on that, so there's a little time lapse of me building that here. But outside of that, we've also been a little bit busy on the inside. So let's hook our horse up here. So by a little busy, I mean like just a small amount. So if you've got a keen eye, you'll notice we are missing a ton of our chests. We've still got organized chaos over here. What's going on with this chest? We've got some, oh my goodness. We've got some organized chaos over here, which is what I was trying to say. But we've cleaned it up a little bit. We've got some extra redstone bits and illumination items and dyes over here. But you'll notice this ladder. We've got some bulk storage up here, mainly because I don't have shulk or shells yet. So this is meant to be just kind of like a long-term storage area for some of these items. Grass are in these two. Dirt are in all four of these, followed by some cobblestone in some of these chests here. We had some down there, but we used it for some projects. We've got some normal stone. The dirt's starting to spread down this way as well, but this will allow us some long-term growth up there. This barrel down here is kind of meant to be my, hey, you need to take this upstairs with you next time you go. And then we've also, what did we add? We added these over here. We went over back to the spawn area and picked up some various terracottas here. So where are we? We've got, general storage here. I figured, we can have some hidden storage back there because that corner is not seen. At night, I think this place looks really nice. What you can tell potentially is that we do have some illumination up here now. We ended up getting ourselves a little bit of glow lichen, as you can see over there. We've kind of scattered it in the areas that we deem fit. But you can see now it kind of illuminates the whole build, and we don't have to worry about what may be spawning on our roof and falling on top of our heads. We've also gone ahead, added a few of these green plants into the farm. I'm trying to make it seem like it's a little active in there. Maybe some of the plants have died or some weeds are growing in there. I think it looks nice. We've got a couple problems with the iron farm, but we'll come back and fix that in our own time. But so down here, I made an extremely simple bone meal farm here for the glow lichen. So really, all you have to do is put the bone meal in each of these little pieces, grab some shears out of your ender chest, turn on the system, and you just mine with the bone meal down here, whatever you may need. We run out of bone meal very quickly in the system. You can see us 63 bone meal netted us 63 of these. I don't even know if that was 63. I feel like it was 64, but that's okay. So how I've been utilizing this farm is by turning this one on, and I've been taking the moss blocks out. So if I turn this on for a second here, so as the system kind of fills up, what I'm doing is I'm taking them out of this container here. I throw them down over in our main bone meal farm right here, and then I let them fill up, and I just kind of let that run in the background. But yeah, so we've been hard at work, and you might notice we've got some redstone in the distance. Now, I don't necessarily know what I might have needed it for, but I decided that it was about time that we set ourselves up a wool farm. Now, this wool farm is entirely powered by copper golems. So this boy goes up and down constantly. I'm worried you're going to run away with how speedy you are. This boy runs up and down constantly, bringing the wool up. You can see it has stayed empty, and it looks like it has stayed empty because we have frozen our minecart there. But either way, now we do have a bunch of beautiful wool coming in. What I could have done is had the copper golem kind of go through each one of these chests and sort them automatically rather than just do the top of the line chest. Or I could have just not done a copper golem and had a little elevator there, but you know, I wanted to have a little fun with it. We've also been working to get our donkeys up to speed. We got a 10.3, a 10.1, and a 10 here. But our horses, we got 13.3, 13.6, 13.3, and a 13.7 even. So what was mine currently? 13.6. This guy's 13.7, and he can jump 3 blocks. I haven't even tamed this guy yet. This guy was just brought to us. Oh, this button. This guy was just brought to us right before I started this episode, actually. So this has been exciting. I'm hoping that we can get one that's 14 meters per second. And we've been trying to be a little selective now that we're kind of getting up towards the upper limit. I'm trying to be a little more selective on breeding the ones that have a higher jump ability now that we are kind of in the double digits here. The donkeys, however, their jumps are all terrible. Some of them, our fastest donkey can barely jump a singular block. So at some point we'll have to get those guys performing a little bit better. So what is it we're going to be doing today, actually? And the first thing that I want to do is actually make a map of this place. Because if we look at it from the sky above, it's starting to shape up to be like the beginning of a town. I know a beginning of a town would not have a railroad track, but I think it's fine. You know, storytelling, we wanted to make sure that it was there. So I know we need some compasses. How do we make maps again? How do we make a map? Well, we need paper. And if we come down here, we do have plenty of paper. I will just grab enough to make a full stack of each. And now we've got a few empty maps. And I know what I need to do is kind of like walk around and form them. So I'm curious. Let me get the horse. So if I head over here, I want to see what happens when we make our first map of this area. Okay, so the dock doesn't have much, and that's actually good because that means that it's barely on the chart here. So if I come over this way, very nice, very nice. Okay, so that kind of gives us a better indication of everything that's around us. We're not seeing the color differences on the map, kind of like we did over there, but that's okay. Now we've got the back of the greenhouse here. That's nice, that's nice. Okay, so that's barely got the railroad track in it, but it does have the railroad track, so that must be on a chunk border. That's interesting. Okay, so we'll come up to our next one. Yeah, not much going on over there, but we will go unlock it. We go further enough out by the end of the dock. There we go. We're seeing the map corner. Where the heck did my horse go? Sir, I've been off you for 17 seconds. Sir? Where? Where did he get in the house? I'm gonna sleep real quick. How? Where? Why did you? My guy. I don't understand. How did you get so far so fast? Like, I know you're a speedy horse, but good lord, man. Just stay there for a second. Oh, okay. I did accidentally make the same map. Okay, let's regroup here. Let's regroup. We've got this one, which is in the middle. Then this one should be, this is like bottom left. And this is exactly why it's important to do this early. So we've got to get our town hall area, which I think I'm in right now. Let's head over here and get this one. And I gotta say, that's pretty impressive. That is a hand-built lake that looks like that on a map. I mean, come on. So now we have a beautiful map of our entire area, and what you can actually see here is we are living on an island. So I think our long-term goal is going to be to inhabit this entire island with our, you know, our community here. But what are we actually doing today? Great, Jay, you made a map. How exciting. Well, what is exciting is we're going to start changing this map. Right here, this was built for a boat, and I want to make one. And when we look out here, you kind of have two options. You've got our shallow bit over here, and I was thinking that the large boat would go on this side. However, a large boat coming in through this port and navigating around right here and into this spot would be quite challenging for it. So I think maybe we're going to do a little bit of dig out underneath the water here and kind of build ourselves a little deeper trench for the bigger boats to go. Now, believe it or not, I've been watching some YouTube videos while building this about how 1600s ships work. Maybe I should have watched it before I built this thing, but let's give you a little preview anyways. So I decided to get rid of the lights on the actual dock. I felt that like the lights would be more, they would make a little bit more sense like on the actual bit here. And then this is mostly just glow lichen, and I have put it all on the outside of them just because I didn't really want to see it when I'm walking up and down this, you know? So I think that'll give us a little bit better look. I've kind of scattered it around the ship for now, but it looks a little messy. Oh, there's a little bit of scaffolding. Thank you. So I don't really know what these were meant to be. They're kind of meant to be like rivets holding the mast together. We've got them up here as well. I think those look nice. But, you know, we've got our main mast right here and our foremast up here. I think I literally just put this here because I didn't have string and I needed to hold it up somehow. So that kind of made it look nice. This would kind of be like our, I believe it's called a sprit sail. Normally it's like connected to this, but I couldn't really do that. Maybe this is the bow sprit and we don't really have a sprit sail actually. You know, the ship's not too big. And then over here, we've kind of got like our captain's cabin. Obviously, we don't have anything detailed in here, but we've started to build it out a little bit. And I've decided to kind of go with the shelves just because you can kind of still get around them like this. But when you're actually on the interior, it feels a little bit more roomy, and we'll be able to put some stuff kind of scattered in these areas here. Now, typically, right by the main mast here, what you're going to have underneath is like some kind of cargo hold area. So we only have this much room to work with. I think a lot of these older ships back here would have had two separate areas. They would have had like a cargo hold, and then in the back, they would have had a nice like gun storage room. You know, basically all the heavy stuff is going to be down here. And then on the opposite side of the gun room, what I believe they would have is kind of like their oven and their cook and like where they would store all of their food. So what we need to do is figure out what we can build on the interior here. Now, I know we're going to need some trapdoors, probably some like barrels, some normal bookcases. We'll make some normal bookshelves as well. By normal, I mean the chiseled bookshelves. Might as well bring some composters. I think we can probably do a lectern, like maybe in the cabins area. Of course, I'm going to grab some spruce trapdoors. Those can always be useful. Maybe some hanging signs. Maybe. I don't know if that could be a thing that could be kind of helpful to have. And then I am going to want like a specialized furnace, but I think we want to encase it in something kind of fun. Like maybe if we were to encase it in like nether brick. And you'll notice over here, we've got a little hidden door over here. Where are you, sir? Where are you coming from? Did you go in the house? Where did all of your leaves go? You're supposed to be carrying leaves. That's probably why these chests were bugged earlier in the episode. Why are you over here? Yeah, so you go over there. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be taking care of the grounds over here. Let's just go in here. We don't know what we're gonna do with our nether portal just yet, so we've kind of stocked it up over here. That's fine for now. No wither skeletons. That's interesting. Leave me alone, sir. I have fully enchanted diamond armor. Stop it. Stop shooting at me, sir. Okay, I just felt like I need to cover this up. It feels a little dangerous. And this is why every single one of these Minecraft videos takes so freaking long to create, because every time you like feel like you're making progress, you have to do like 96 other things just to get it going, you know? I don't want to be here. And now back home, it's raining and it's dark out. What the heck is the fun in that? I don't know what we could use a grindstone for, but maybe we'll put it in there. It might look like something. You never know. Thinking maybe like copper bulbs as maybe the light in the office or something like that. We'll probably want some lanterns, maybe some campfires we'll put out in some water. We'll probably want some chests. Maybe the blocks of coal could potentially look like, you know, little cannonballs or something. Maybe I bring some coal ore as well, kind of for the same reason. I don't think it will look good, but you never know when you're trying to find stuff like this. Okay, I do have some flower pots, but I think I just want to make just a few more. And like we'll probably need some flowers, maybe like a fishing rod and an item frame. I don't know. That could be something. I feel like this like glazed, light gray glazed terracotta could maybe look like a map or something in the captain's room. Okay, so now that we're in here, we've got our light gray terracotta. So we've got something that maybe looks like this. I don't know. Maybe that could look a little bit like a desk, and then we do something like this with maybe like a bookshelf on the side here. And we could put another bookshelf here. Maybe a little trapdoor action with the classic pot on top. Put like a barrel here. I think maybe the barrel should face us. Yep. We'll decorate it with some books. Maybe another barrel down here. Maybe another bookshelf. Followed by like, I'm thinking like a stack of logs. So I think if we switch these, that kind of simulates like the logs that the captain would have maybe for like a little fire pit in here. Put it over here. You know, those are his logs that he keeps. You know, if I could put another one of these on top of it here, I would, but that's not how Minecraft works. And of course, we need a crafting table over here, and then maybe we'll put a barrel in between. Let's just make a quick little stair here. I can put a poppy in there though, right? Yeah, okay. So that looks nice, I would say. Then I do think we will want a little roof up here. We do have the classic spruce. Go ahead, put a copper bulb right there. That looks really nice like that. Just kind of like a little recessed light bulb in there. I put a few hanging signs here. I think they look kind of nice. They're technically actually hanging up here. They're not actually hanging against the wall. Can you place these against the wall? Yeah, you'd have to do something like that, right? do I? I don't think I like these ones. Oh, shoot. The bed is obstructed, of course. Okay. So we're going to rearrange this just a little bit here. So I like the idea of the bed kind of being right here. He's the captain. He's the only one that would very likely be allotted an actual bed. We just did like something like that. Kind of look like this is supposed to be like a storage area. I think that works. So we put a little like chimney there. I think that works. And then the captain will be able to take his little nap right here. So this is a nice little captain's room. If I wanted to like put some shelves up here or something, I could. I'd have to raise this by one, and I kind of like how it's recessed there, so we'll kind of keep that as is. I think that's kind of like a good progress there. Now we do actually need some type of stairway here, kind of put up like this. But I think it'll look okay. Then we've got some stairs here. So I think that looks natural enough. Do we do it like that? Is that, because I believe in real life this whole thing would be like 1 or 2 actual full units. But I think that will look nice there, and it also gives us the functionality to actually be able to close the entire thing. So we'll put this down here like this, and we want to make kind of our gun storage room. And I think for most of this, like, it's just going to kind of be like standard storage things here. We're going to put things like this. We don't have to get like too overly complicated with some of this stuff because most of it would kind of exist like this in real life, I would say. So we just have kind of a couple chests, maybe one more down here, and kind of how we had before, we'll put a couple campfires scattered around. And then we've got like a couple of the flower pots here. Maybe they'd be filled with sugar or something like that. Or it's not sugars. They'd be filled with salt for preservatives. Good Lord, that took me 47 tries to get out. And then I don't know what this is. Maybe I don't like that. Oh, but you know what these could be? I think they might kind of look like cannons. Now, I don't know. I think there might be better cannons out there. However, if I do something like this, yeah, kind of make it look like a support of that. And then we get some of these. I mean, it's not bad. It kind of looks like a little cannon. I wish it was like a single middle piece. But I think that's the best we're going to do at this scale. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments down below. But I think that might work as like just kind of like a basic little cannon for the ship. It's a trade ship. It's not meant to be like super intricate. We're not going to need like 1,000 of them, but I would say a trade ship would need a little bit of defense with them. And then we would need like a small barracks area. My first thought was I want to put like double layer beds in. That's why I got a bunch of ladders here. But I don't think that's going to be possible actually. I think we'll just kind of keep it a little simple here. It's a small ship. I guess we wouldn't actually need like a whole concourse of beds. Oh, I guess I'm sleeping. I'm going to hurt my head when I come out of this. Kind of get the beds put in like so. And I think having all the firewood be over there is good. On this side, we will end up putting our little... And I just remembered that's why I brought the furnace over here. Do I not have a spare? I do have some spare furnaces. Okay, so that's good. We always have spares in that little bundle there. The bundles are pretty nice. Once you kind of get used to using them, they're actually pretty nice little pieces of work. Because then we can put another brick there. And then we can put a little bit of extra storage for that right there. Perfect. We've got a nice little stove over here that we can cook our fish or whatever in. A little stack of firewood that they would be able to utilize right there. And then maybe like a fancy little table over here they could use for cutting and various tools and things like that. We'll put a little shelf down here. We're not going to put any books in that one, however, mainly because that would mostly just be used for probably the Probably like ingredients and things like that. I don't think they would actually put books there. Maybe I liked our cannonball idea. So maybe we just kind of like stack these over here. Just kind of along this. I think that'll work, right? Like that's okay. I don't think we need to worry like too much about it. Okay, that kind of looks like something. I don't know what, but it looks like something. So I think we can keep it right there. Maybe we put some extra barrels on this side as additional storage. Now up top, we're not talking a pirate ship here. No, that's not what this is. This is a trade ship that has come to town to trade with this new thriving community. So, what I think they would have a lot more of than you may expect would be barrels. I think they would kind of have a ton of different like storage things. Maybe I'll put a little thing here. I'm not sure what that could be used for. We'll stack some fire pits next to it as well. It's meant to be a trade ship. It's not gonna like have the most detail in the world, but they're gonna have some stuff scattered about. I do like putting the campfires on things. I think it does just add a little bit of kind of extra fun to the area. Makes it look like we're storing all sorts of little stuff kind of scattered throughout. Fantastic. Through a little bit of trial and error, we have these guys. And these guys just walk around. Look, this guy comes over here, he checks this chest, he realizes, oh, I can put it in there. But if this guy comes over here, can he put it in there? I don't know. Well, he can't. So he comes over to here. So how does the cycle repeat? Oh, I will show you in a moment, because this guy's going to go check this chest. And obviously, he couldn't put something back in here, right? Well, he's going to take something out of this one, and he's going to walk over here. Can he put it in here? Oh, it appears he can. What the heck? Can this guy put this in here? Oh, he can't. How strange. And then we have a man over here. You'll see him in a second. Just watch that door. Oh, he came around from over this way. Interesting. So he's out there putting a lot of work in over here as well. So I'll show you the back one first. We had to do a little bit of funkiness over here, just because trapdoors, they don't see them. Like they see them as just normal walls or floors or whatever. So I kind of just have to lift those up. But if we sneak back here, you'll notice there's a chest and a little hopper, and that just goes into the captain's quarters. I did have to kind of ruin the look of it in here just a little bit. We needed our guy to be able to go back and forth here. So I did have to put just like a little stairway and a little jump in there so that he could go back and forth between these platforms. But you can see he's now walking around on his normal path here. Slides in this door and it comes in here. I think that's okay. I don't love it, but it kind of is what it is one of situations, because I'd rather have the animation while I'm over here. And then these guys right here, how I'm getting them to go into two different chests. We've got a single chest here. You can see it's got an item stuck in it there. So that's going to force them to use this other chest here. So you can see he checks this one. That one doesn't have anything in it, so he's going to go ahead and drop this off down to this one. We've just got a little circuit over here. When this has something in it, it turns the circuit on, which locks the hopper that takes things out of the chests. So basically every other item will go into this one. I think maybe it's every third item they pick up. But either way, they're doing a ton of walking around, and we've got a beautifully animated little build over here. I love these copper golems. I want to try and have them like basically working in every part of my build that I can have. It's fun. I feel like I could stand here just like for like an hour and just watch these little guys go back and forth. Like right now, there's not much going on, and then boom, they appear out of nowhere. But anyways, I think that's all the time that I have for this episode. Sorry it took a little bit longer for it to come out, but holiday season, what are you going to do? Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Minecraft Experience with me, Jay.